whatever that band is. But you cannot steal the infamous line, "Wake up to reality," by Madara Uchiha. Oh god, I'm already disappointed in the chapter, but whatever. Let us continue. Special story. It literally has us go down to the bottom. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, okay, so we are literally going to the next zone straight away. Okay, go to story. Let's go. Okay, I was expecting to go across the bridge. No bridges. No bridge. We don't feel like a nice bridge. Hello? Game? Just sit back and rate the boobs? Fair enough. I can't remember. That's Fu, right? I'll explain to you the rules. Answer me this before I do so. Do you believe in God? And how do you understand God? A strange, disparate... Hopefully that's not too loud. Will that knows and controls all, and yet no one has ever seen God with their own eyes. Today we will find an answer.
早く起きてください、キアナ。私はどこにいるの?
Control Kiana to wake up. Sorry? This isn't hard, at least for now. Is that Bronya's voice? Why would you come to Shixel HQ? The girl was obviously confused, not obliviously. Everything before her seemed out of place, as though she was not thinking straight. Even with her partner explaining things to her, she still did not immediately know where she was. The strange space known as the Sea of Quanta was not a concept that could be easily understood or explained. Is this a different model? No. I just don't think I've seen Kiana in this outfit in a very long time, so I'm like, I can't remember. Played through chapter Act 2 just now, loved it. Oh, okay, cool. Welcome to the stream, Fake. I should have arrived at Shixel's training grounds, then I fell asleep and started lucid dreaming. It had been a long time since she had dreamed. That sounds a bit depressing. After truly mastering her Hersha power, her sleep had become deep and restful, as she no longer dreamed as she once had. That sounds like a very nice byproduct of becoming a Hersha. You just have a nice, deep sleep. A nice, deep slumber, dude. What more could you ask for? It's been long since I last experienced such inconvenience. But she was mistaken, confusing it with dreams brought on by the Hersha core. Can't read anymore. Control Kiana to look around. Why does it say control Kiana to look around? Are we playing as Bronyo or something? Are we... Oh, I don't know. I don't know why it says control. Since I can't seem to wake up, I might as well look around. Maybe I'll stumble across some memories of interest. No, it's the new one. It's the same model. Oh, they've got that sprint function. Oh, Hacksaw Bunny. Come on, Hacksaw Bunny. She barely stretched out her hand and the form she had seen dissipated like a bubble. It's that unstable. Why is Bronya so lively in my dream? It's strange. Or if it only appears like at the end of chapter 25. But we get to see this model a lot. Control Kiana to look around. Senti? Oh yeah, Hersha of Sentience. We walk different paths after all. Do we not fight anything here? No fighting? Ah, it's her before she became Hersha of Sentience. It's like, well, it is Hersha of Sentience, but like, yeah. I still can't use it easily. She could sense something was off. Where is Bronya? Give Kiana a suggestion. What if this isn't a dream? Yeah, fair explanation to how we got here. No, that's fair enough. Just a bit of a time skip. Why not? I love a random time skip in this game. Now we fight enemies, okay.
やっぱりこれは夢じゃな
This
か
isn't a
った。
dream, but why would I be in the Sea of Quanta? Well... Oh?
律者の力が自由に使えない。
Hersh abilities can't be used here. Wait, this is a tutorial? Why is there a tutorial about this? What the hell? Why is there a tutorial about Kiana? God damn it, dude. What the fuck? I don't need to learn how to use a character. Who's starting the game in chapter 32? No one's starting the chapter or the game at chapter 32.
私の
God damn it, game.
私の番文句はないよね。
Honestly, so far, very mixed feelings. I don't feel like this explains much. Hopefully, it explains in a second as to what the fuck's happening. Oh, not Tutankhamun. Oh.
キアナに私の
Hersh abilities can't be used. Here, immediately makes a black hole. Actually, true. Yeah, Hersh abilities can't be used. Makes a black hole. Very good observation there.
キアナ重装詐欺全部総展開。
Oh, Bronya is finally here.
ブローニャ本当にブローニャなんだね。
Okay, why is the world slanted?
大丈夫ですか。
Are you alright, Kiana? Yeah, all thanks to you, but what's going on? The monster, it's like... They are quantum shadows, and this is without a doubt the Sea of Quanta. Sea of Quanta, so what I just saw... Images scattered between bubble universes. Oh! Okay. In case someone forgot to spam her hold attack, in normal play, her hold attack have a limitation and can't be spammed. In the story, you can spam it. True and real. That's a good observation as well. So seeing Hacksaw Bunny there was just us like seeing a different bubble universe or an after image of another bubble universe. And same thing with the Senti thing, is that we saw like an after image of a bubble universe essentially. Entering the Sea of Quanta isn't as simple as falling asleep, right? Okay. And before I woke up, I remember I should have arrived at Shixel training grounds. Yeah, Durandal just came over and I said hello to her. Perhaps it has to do with how much you've adapted. Even I arrived here fully awake and then spatial fluctuation happened without warning. So we can't completely rule out the possibility that all this is one big illusion. You mean like when you met the Hirsch of Sentience at Mount Taishuan? But other than the admittedly absurd scenario, there can only be one other possibility. Some sort of power beyond physical space has trapped and sealed us in the Sea of Quanta. Some sort of physical space. If that's the case, I'd prefer it to be an illusion. Give Bronya a suggestion, give Kiana a suggestion. I'm not sure how I feel about these options here. Give Kiana a suggestion. Why prefer? If this force can transport multiple people, it's been used on more than just us. While this feels a little different from than when I entered the Eye of the Deep, I can't find any crack in the illusion. Even if it's just an illusion, whoever put it together must have known the Sea of Quanta very well. I think his name may start with K. I think his name may start with a K and end with an Evan. Just... Then what do you mean by a little different? In here, we have a unique circumstance that theoretically should be impossible. How to put it... I just noticed that Bronya is not in her Hersha reason, so Hersha powers are sealed. Crazy. Give Bronya the answer. The space belonging to the Sea of Quanta could be said to be subjugated. It's not clear how, but a certain bubble universe seems to have broken through the limit and made this sea its satellite or subsidiary unit. Is that even possible? It shouldn't be, unless it's Kevin. All our conjecture will be for naught if we don't get out of here. Yes. The only man on Earth, or on the moon, or anywhere really that could do this is in fact Kevin.
倒しても倒しきれないみたいだね。ブローニャ、
Well,
どうすればいいの？
we've gone red, so what do we do next, Bronya?
ブローニャは先ほどの方法で火力支援し、道を開きます。キアナはその方向へ行き、突破してください。
So it's just we're controlling Kiana and Bronya to get out of the Sea of Quanta. Because Kevin has done an expertly job at trapping us here, even though he's a cringe lord with no friends. Lol.
何か特別なところでもあるの？
Why in that direction? Before they noticed that that was the direction the quantum soldiers were heading. These new quantum enemies that they've kind of created for this chapter are really nice looking, I'll be honest with you. They're a good change.
わかりませんが、怪しいと思います。
けど、ブローニャも律者の力を使えないの？漁師の海にいる時の副作用とかじゃないよね。
はい。それはもう一つの説明がつかないことです。
Are you gonna attack me?
おそらく相手の目的は、いいえ、証拠も不十分ですし、判断するのは
I don't know how the attacking on these enemies works.
ブローニャが心配している方向へと向かってないことを願っています。
I'm assuming Bronya and Kiana didn't talk about anything too serious there. It was just about getting out of the Sea of Quanta, because honestly, to God, if it's not in English, I ain't reading mid-combat. I ain't reading mid-combat, dude. None of that's happening. Oh my god, it's Kevin! Oh no, it's a crack in the space-time continuum. There's our way out. They're attacking space. They're attacking... Is that a typo? Like a space rift? A space crack? They're just attacking space. This type of conquest comes at a considerable cost. The quantum shadows aren't the ones doing the subjugating, but the result of it. Incorporating even a small part of the Sea of Quanta into a bubble universe has brought along an endless stream of enemies. Which is to say, that's a connection point similar to the Eye of the Deep. But at this scale, if it breaks through, if I'm unable to use my powers, we'll need someone else to assist. If that's true, we probably shouldn't go forward, right? I'm not the best with theories, but there's no telling if the person on the other side of the bubble universe is friendly. I am going to turn the game down very slightly. True, but give Bronya a suggestion. I don't like how we're giving her the suggestion. Just have her do the suggestion. Have the story flow. Don't give me the option, because I'm not the one giving her the suggestion. Who's giving her the suggestion? Like, that's such a bad thing to add, is that choice there. It doesn't mean anything. What's wrong, Bronya? We should split up. The potential risks of the bubble universe are less than staying here in the Sea of Quanta and fighting the quantum shadows. If we stick around here, we can only wait to be saved and forget about learning why my Herrscher powers are limited. I'll use Project Bunny to lure away the quantum shadows. Kiana should be able to follow up from there. In the meantime, do you want me to break the spatial barrier? You can brute force it and then find a new way, or some help. I know why you're worried, Kiana, but with Project Bunny, I can buy you more than enough time. After all, you still have the power of the Herrscher of the Void. Even if it's limited, something is better than nothing, right? If we swap roles, things will be a lot less, will be that less efficient, rather. I'm not questioning it. You're just trying some new tactics. Laying down some suppressive cover fire while using precision guidance to ensure your partner isn't hit. That's the Herrscher of Reason's tactic, isn't it? Not necessarily, but the Herrscher of Reason's power is still present at a certain level, even if it can't be fully expressed. Tactically or even strategically. You could say that too, but it's more like a 3D printing or precision instruments to save money. I can't understand technical things. But that'll be risky without having practice first. It's not an issue because you're Kiana. She suddenly stopped, realizing what she said was inappropriate. Thank God every quantum enemy being a Psi enemy reskinned is something I don't particularly applaud Mihoyo for before. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a lazy part, just like quantum enemies being reskinned psychic enemies. Even if there is an explanation, I think it is still lazy. They could easily redesign enemies. Yet after quick thinking, because you're Kiana, we work well together. I feel the same because you're Bronya, I won't feel worried. But before we start, I still have an urge to tell you, be careful. Kinda contradictory, huh? Contradiction is human nature. Of course, I'll be extra careful. Well then, Bronya moved towards where the quantum shadows had gathered and assumed an attack stance. It's time, Kiana, let's go. Stop falling from a height. Let's just get on with the mission. It was difficult to tell who those words were meant for. A massive boom. The first strike was more than a bluff, not taking up too much of Bronya's power. Precision was the dance based on understanding. She had displayed astounding mastery over details ever since she began learning to shoot as a child. Flashback to Bronya as a child. Up until she was chased away by enemy hordes, Bronya had maintained her composure through silence. Watching her recede into the distance, Kiana breathed a sigh of relief. Bronya, you're really the best. For a while, she was unaware what Bronya was thinking. Throughout their history, Bronya had always done her best to lay the foundation for victory. But yet often, fair enough. Oftentimes, she had already fallen when the critical moment came. Despite having made exceptional contributions, she must still blame herself for it. Yet Durandal told her that most geniuses who hit a bottleneck end up defeated by such needless self-blame and hyper-competitiveness. Bronya doesn't seem worrying about that. She uses her power well and going far one step at a time. Come to think of it, that's what the Herrscher of Reason stands for. Okay. Get in the hole, Kiana. Get in the hole. Try attacking the time fracture. Okay. Can we see Bronya fighting in the distance? No. I can't do this without Herrscher of Void's power. We gotta activate the Herrscher of the Void. Bronya's right, brute force alone won't work. But I only have a fraction of my power. Doesn't make sense to just blindly waste it. Alright then. Reveal the weakness, or the weak spot in space to Kiana. Oh, it's just that don't add these options. Oh, it's so unnecessary. I'm not the one revealing it to Kiana. Kiana's doing it. Oh, that's a bad touch. That's a very bad touch, these options. There's no reason for these options to exist. Oh, they're tethered to the thing. Okay. Go in the hole. With the final blow along the tear caused a quantum I don't fucking know. Caused a quantum shatter, the empty space before Kiana shattered, revealing an entrance to another world. But she became inaudible, as happens when two different pressures collide. A virtually irresistible force pulled her into the rift. In just a blink of an eye, the only thing that remained were her shrieks, still lingering in the air. It was also then that she realized why Bronya emphasized practicing falling before leaving. Of course, nothing will happen to her. If even when protected, she gives up looking for ridiculous while falling. Looking ridiculous while falling, rather. Then the point I want to make is nonsense. In the time that has just passed, by my hand you should know what a god is. Yes, Herrscher of Sentience, you can reveal yourself, please. Or Fu. Rather, Fu-Ha, you can reveal yourself. I can even hear her, or their innermost voices. I can easily catalyze things, leading them to any situations I wish, and they'd be none the wiser. This is not the result, but the cause. A god known by humanity cannot be called a god. When the mystery is revealed, Dayside follows. Dayside follows? Deicide. Deicide? Genocide. What are they trying to say here? Dayside follows. Fair enough, dude. And that is the exact role each of us play in her eyes. By the time to say goodbye draws near, it seems her partner Bronya needs my help more than she does. You can't have a Mihoyo game without a fair few typos in the way. Honestly, you can't. Dayside follows. That might be a real word. Extra doubt, though. The four continued to another world that had just happened, that has been artificially connected. This is, as Bronya predicted, even though she did not wield the power of the void, she had many other ways to land safely. It would hurt a little, but not to the point of making her gasp anything. It's the Sea of Quanta on this side as well. Due to her limited theoretical knowledge, she could not realize that she had crossed the considerable distance by a means similar to warping in the Sea of Quanta. If distance meant the same in the Sea of Quanta as it did in the proper world, but in terms of results, she made the right judgment. But if the two sides are similar, why would the quantum shadows attack? She slowly adjusted her posture in an attempt to slow her descent and thus have more time to look for an answer. But it was unnecessary, as the stranger was too conspicuous. During her fall, hundreds of quantum shadows that had collapsed rose as if they were souls returning to the heavens. Apparently, they just tasted a harrowing defeat. The mere repercussion of the battle could lift her hair against the wind like high voltage. What sort of power could achieve that? She should be able to, although not command her authority at will, as long as she focused on attacking instead of thinking she could wreck the quantum shadows. But by that standard, she suddenly had a fuzzy but sturdy hunch. I thought it said launch. Almost reflexively, Kiana's body and mind relaxed on their own. She no longer needed to worry about how to counter the ambushes or land smoothly because she could feel it. Burst of flame sire? The falling momentum stopped. Her hunch was about to become true. The next time, we'd see each other in person. I can't remember Mei being introduced, but fair enough. Dayside, that's an actual thing? Cool. I was about they add a meeting, because I don't fucking know what the Dayside meet is, when it's so close to decide. I thought after making so many meaningless sacrifices, they finally managed to summon something I can't handle. Oh, there's that classic image, the hype one. They're managed, but I never thought your promise would be fulfilled this way. It really is you, Mei-senpai! Yes, it's me, Kiana! Yeah, see? And then came the customary silence. It was not an awkward moment. It looks awkward as shit. Let's be fucking real right now. It looks awkward as shit. It's a god-killing cause of bad, has the name Deicide. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. They could also just use general words. Because it was the same for anyone. If a heart looked forward to a reunion, it would rehearse it over and over again. It would ponder how to say the first sentence, how to express its ache and joy, and how to respond to the other's care. Anyone would want this special moment to be perfect, but anyone would suddenly feel powerless to break this thin silence like them. Because everyone could hardly notice one thing at this moment. Everyone who yearned for a reunion had never been truly apart. I was afraid I'd have too many things to say. But in the end, it feels like we only went 2 different schools for a day. If that's the case, then I'm back, Kiana. Welcome back, Mei. Mei is substantially stronger than Kiana at this point, and if it isn't shown, then this is a cringe game. If it doesn't show Mei in the story ripping ass and Kiana being absolutely useless, it's all inaccurate because there's no way they're on par in the same strength. So Kiana, there's something wrong with our authorities, right? Yeah, it's a great observation, Mei. Yes, including Bronya's. That makes you more awesome. If I were you, dealing with that many quantum shadows in this state would have worn me out. Well, that's a long story, actually. I've met Kevin, I've met all these other people, so I'm really strong right now. That's what Mei actually wants to say. He's like, I've actually become really strong because I've trained with the strongest people in all of history. So, yeah. It's been a long time since I can fight without reserve in reality again. I wasn't expecting the experience spanning 50,000 years that I gained at World Serpent. It would benefit me so much while my authority is jammed. You didn't think that the hyperbolic time chamber would come in handy, mate. That's a very interesting observation there. The hyperbolic time chamber actually proves very useful in most situations. What about Bronya? You said she's nearby. We thought the attack of monsters was associated with the abnormal connection between bubble universes, but you didn't know they were attacking me. In that sense, you might also be right. Let's land first. She finally realized that although they had stopped falling, she was not standing on the ground but floating at a dangerous height among scattered matters. This is the Sea of Quanta, so things don't really make sense. True. It's quite the dilemma actually, because Chinese words tend to be overcomplicated to translate, and sometimes you have to use obscure words or it takes forever. I understand that, but I feel like Dayside, again, not a common word. There's always like in between words. There's always in between words. If you go the extra mile, you can find a way. You can always find a way. It's the dev team's responsibility to go that extra mile. Kiana, hold on tight. Let's look for Bronya. If she can't use her own powers, things
きっとブローニャの状況もあまり良くない気がする。
She just comes out of nowhere. Come on, dude. Not be looking optimistic for her.
そうですね。
Bronya thought about it for a long time whether Project Bunny should catch both of you in the air. After all, neither of you looked nervous when above. Long time no see, Bronya.
メイ姉様、メイ姉さん、お久しぶりです。
Bro, did she say Nei-sama instead of Nei-san, dude? What the hell? It's been a while, mate. Bronya, why are you... Bronya strangely shook off the quantum shadows and strangely discovered... what the fuck? That's just terrible explanation. So, Bronya strangely just lost all the enemies. And then strangely discovered that Bronya could detour to a special connection point behind the two of you. It's like, add a reason. Just say, I found a fucking point. Don't say strangely. Strangely implies that it just happens sporadically. I understand that the fucking sea of Quantum, anything can happen, but just say you found it. Strangely? How to put it? Yes, explain it to me, Bronya. Strangely, what do you mean by that? Feels like there's some form of guidance from Destiny. Destiny! Is that a new... Oh, that's the new character coming, Destiny. Oh, that's the new character. Nice. Let's get back on track though. Since Mei's also here, then Bronya's prediction should be correct. This is an act targeted at Hershey's. Perhaps there are others who are trapped here too. About that, I suppose I'm informed. It's World Serpent after all. Yeah, Raven said that their Project Stigma is close to completion. Nunny. This is consistent with Kevin's words in the past. He said that he was preparing to realize Project Stigma and had me leave the World Serpent on my own accord. But while I was leaving the World Serpent, I faced a mysterious disruption and lost my consciousness. If I'm not mistaken, before I lost consciousness, I'm afraid our situation might be related to their agent, Hair. But as to how she managed to do this, I'm also in the dark. But according to Bronya, are you also able to feel that vague guidance from the Sea of Quantum? The narrator comes to life. The narrator becomes a character, and that's the new character as well, narrator. I have yet to exert any influence on her. How strange. It's constantly guiding me towards a particular place, yet it's ambiguous, as if it doesn't want to be discovered. If it were not for these growing quantum shadows in the way, I'd have followed its lead. Although I can't be sure that we're sensing the same entity, but if there's no other way, I'm willing to try. What about you guys, Vella? We only managed to gather here together because we followed this guidance. In that case, it's worth following that feeling. And that guidance is Sealy. Destiny, sorry, I don't play shooters. True, honestly, it's not worth it, is it? Artificial spatial opening that can only be noticed by people with a particular experience. Yeah, there's a little orb over there. I have to play as Mei Onesan? Oh, dude. No, that's actually the best choice. Screw the other two characters. If I don't think like Alicia, I'll never be able to sense this place is off. Oh, Alicia already being referenced, dude? Let's fucking go. Best character being referenced? Hold up. Is she one of the World Serpent? She's one of the Flame Chasers. She fought alongside Fu and Kevin in the past. She's also a friend I made recently. Oh, Kiana's gonna feel jealousy ready. No? No jealousy from Kiana? What? What? Unreal. I was expecting pure jealousy. This is a corner Parter would keep in mind. Ah, this is just Mei flexing that she has like 10 different friends now. Mei's made friends and parted with many new ones. It's the positive kind, so you needn't worry about me. Oh, positive. Why are they so close behind me, dude? Like, bro, step back. Why do they follow you so close? Take a step back, dude. Don't sit in my ass. Jesus. And this is Kevin's hole or something. This is Kevin? I don't know. Something about Kevin. Probably. No, that's a hole. Oh no, we're now gonna go here and it's gonna take us to the moon. It's the same feeling as when we faced the Sea of Quanta. This is indeed the crevice. I thought they said creativus. The crevice that connects different bubble universes. And there are marks that show it has been artificially tampered with. We can't tell right now, but that's very likely. Shall we get going? I'm afraid we have no other choice, but we need to be even more wary compared to before. Yes, in the universe ahead, there may be variables beyond our capabilities, but when it comes to facing foreign universes, we're all veterans, aren't we? We're all veterans? Sorry, let me think about it here. May's done it. The other two haven't, kind of. Not to the same degree. Ah, fair enough, whatever. Actually, no, Kiana has done it. Bronya, has she done something? I guess the Sea of Quanta, the deep fucking sea, I don't fucking know. Because of the method she had taken, May had a vague premonition about the universe behind the door. Perhaps we'll be leaving or having a lot more reunions today. Oh yeah, way to spoil it, narrator. Perhaps we'll be having a lot more reunions today. They're gonna walk through the door and Seely, Durandal, and Lee Su-shang is just gonna be sitting there with open arms. Bet money. I'll bet $45 on that right now. $55 million. Who done it? That's a great quest. Who done it? Oh my god, dude. I am mad. The narrator's ruining the whole story. Or maybe we'll have more reunions. This was the other side of the door. Who'da thunk it, eh? Who'da thunk it? Beneath her was the bleak lunar soil. Caging her were steep cliffs, and above her was a boundless darkness that seemed to have devoured the starlight, and this was only one of the countless pits outside the main base. Empty, silent, strange, but even the frigid atmosphere could not harm the beauty of the sight. But one thing surprised her. Why was everything completely still in the eyes of the visitor who came earlier due to her gift? Oh. Finally, I got out of that blasted place. The Sea of Quanta. Why was I thrown into it? God knows, Senti. God knows. Bet? I bet. Hey, what's up, Neko Odin streaming? And even though she was the host of sentience, as a wisp of thought, she could not hold out her hand to feel her energy trickling away through muscle fibers. Still, she knew one thing for sure. She had lost half of her authority. No! Is that old-timer's fault again? Whatever. She's such a tryhard. What a fucking L nerd. We have our own problems. I'll figure out what happens to me next. This is the real universe through and through. Who in the world could have done something so outrageous? Kevin! It was Kevin! Before that, by following certain guidance, she entered this world. Similar to Mei, who would come soon after, that guidance was enough to make Hirsch of Sentience, who possessed all of Fuhua's memories, realize that this bubble universe was perhaps located 50,000 years ago in time. Yet, there was more to the nature of that guidance. Air, sound, and even light were in perfect stillness, as if a supreme being had pressed the pause button. Just the Hirsch of the end is just sitting there with like a button. Pause. Unpause. Pause. Unpause. Honestly, I want that to happen. Just have her in the distance in the moon over here, or behind the Earth, just pressing the pause button. Could that guidance actually be a call for help? Why bother thinking when I'm already here? I can see for myself, it can't be stopped anyway. Unlike the girls who were yet to come, although her power was restricted, it still allowed her to extend intangibility, spiritual synapses to interact with her surrounding more efficiently. Only 3/10 of my power is left. 3/10? This feeling, could it be? The feeling of stagnation inside her gave her an idea of the loss of power, but she soon rejected it. Impossible. Nobody's stronger than me. I'm the host of sentience on the sentient level. Oh, a robot. She could not see it, but she could feel it through metal. It was a pilot. Fixed in place with the whole world. What an unlucky bastard. He probably doesn't know why he's here. I can't try to hurt to try. She extended her synapses through the metal and developed the pilot inside. The Hirsch of Sentience could still read minds with ease. You don't look your age. Let's take a closer look. Hirsch of Sentience. What? The instant they connected, a familiar yet revolting feeling made her gasp and cut their spiritual link. His mind is blank. The moment they connected, memories gushed toward her. Yet contrary to Fuhua's tide of memories, his contained nothing. It was only a pure emotion wrapped in the void. Although her quick reaction saved her from repeating this mistake, but what the vast void stood for left her speechless. Since this place fell still, this person had been struck in an immobile body while awake, until his consciousness wore away into nothingness, leaving only his last emotion behind. How torturous would that be? Even someone with the mind like her was repulsed by the mere thought of it. And that was not the most surprising thing. After everything he's gone through, the last emotion he had was hope. How is that possible? Hope is quite a good emotion. The inconceivable long restraint destroyed his willpower, yet its residue was still burning with hope. Seemingly, after innumerable years of suffering, in the last moments of his mind, he remained faithful in the light that never came. I don't care about this guy. I really don't. Is he insane? What gave him confidence? Annoying? Whatever? Swara? Something else lives. I don't really care about this robo guy, to be quite frank with you. Why do you have to talk to him so much? Where are we on the map? Tony Hawk mode engage? Kinda true. Can we explore, or do we have to do the quest? Actually, we probably should just do the quest, right? We'll explore after. Oh, not a man. Oh. Everyone's fixed in place. Having learned from the last encounter, she carefully touched the other mind to avoid another damn burst. The Hersha understandably disdained such prudence. If I'm what? It was exactly the same as the last mind. There was nothing, not a speck of awareness, only a tenacious hope. They're all mad. Is this what every human who's been mad for tens of thousands of years has become? They've never seen or heard anything like this. It was true. Her familiarity with awareness led her to discovery. No. They believe in something concrete or a specific person. Even if brief, she more or less felt the signs of hope. Clearly was directional and sustained by a concrete being. How is this possible? Two superstitious living deads. That's what I call bonkers. However, as shown in the past, nothing had sparked her curiosity more than the unreasonable qualities of humans. She may not want to destroy what others believe in, but whenever they showed unusually strong beliefs in external things, she would get competitive for no reason. She had to prove those things were unreliable. And yet humans can be fanatic, but about ideals rather. But people and objects, really? Show me, hoping to find the source. It's nearby, it's really a human. You know, it might be a human that we all know, who knows. Just doesn't seem relevant. What's up here? Nothing. It's discipline power, I think they give a human hope. Yeah, it's just hope, innit? Believe it. It's a belief, isn't it? Hope is a belief. Just like that. A nobody. True! An absolute nobody! An absolute L person! Nobody knows this person. Absolute nobody. Took the L at such an early age. Dead husband. Dead friends. No family. Get fucked. She felt disappointed. It was inevitable, as this person could not look more average. Average. Yet to her surprise, she also felt a kind of anger. For what reason? She asked because, as the Hersha of Sentience, just as easily as she easily sensed the lingering hope a moment ago, she could also the other feelings in a human brain, such as a despair that was the exact opposite of hope, and too thick to dispel was overflowing from that woman in front of her. She could not understand which. Oh, she's moving, dude. Which angered her. Someone who was deeply trusted, whose existence alone could inspire hope in those whose consciousness was dying. Someone like that sank into despair and apparently gave up in the same situation. For the Hersha of Sentience, it was undoubtedly a revolting betrayal. Then let me and them see your ugliness. If you're failing, oh god, it's so hard to read this for some reason. If you're failing them like this, considering the power she could still channel, she was certain that she could resist the effect of repeated contact. But as she approached the other's body, with fighting for justice in her mind, she did not remember a key that she should have. Although the samples were insufficient so far, the absolute trust this woman displayed appeared to be a common phenomenon among a certain group back then. Back then, eh? Back in the era that Hua had witnessed. When she saw the other's face, it was already too late psychologically. Oh well, the great Hirsch of Sentience thought, no need to argue with those old fogies. Hurry up and normalize this world, then head to the next world. With that said, she snapped her fingers lightly. Although it was a mental gesture, it immediately took conspicuous effect. The unknown power that enveloped the bubble universe and plunged it into stagnation quietly subsided, seemingly fearful of her. And then the air, the gears, and all the factors began moving again. Yeah, May is a cringe lord, I'm just gonna say it right now. May's a cringe lord. Okay, let you finish. I was about to go when I bumped into you. A handful of monsters kept you from finding that door. Is this a joke? Admit it, you can't do anything without me. What, that was all just Hirsch of Sentience retelling a story? Oh. I thought they would meet up eventually. That concluded her flashback. The girls who followed the guidance here had joined her. All existing Hirsches were imprisoned in a special bubble universe. Their speculation was verified. In the meantime, she briefed them on this moon bubble universe. Without telling them, she had sprinkled false information in, of course. Dr. May, not everything she said is true, is it?
とにかくあなたたちが来たことによってこの世界の泡に封じられた滅亡寸前の瞬間は息を吹き返した。
This is just weird now. This is just weird. This is just weird now. In any case, it's your arrival that brought this dusty bubble universe to a spurt of activity right before its demise. How the process is documented doesn't matter as long as the results align. And so, as the only witness did not object to the statement made by Hirsch of Sentience, it became increasingly difficult to discern what was false. But either way, when the girls entered this bubble universe, the first people they saw were the strangely acquainted Hirsch of Sentience and Dr. May. That's not all I'm curious about. Hirsch of Sentience, why do you do everything this May says? Why do you look so much like her subordinate? Having read between the lines, she looked around and walked unnaturally to May's side to assert herself. Yet she knew this was temporary. As soon as she relaxed, she would display reverence and reliance again, just like those pathetic minds trapped in the bodies for tens of thousands of years. It's only because that old-timer's subconscious is way too wishy-washy. But she's a weird fella. The very moment I saw her... Well, forget it. Don't fuss about the minor details. I suppose you have more important things to ask. Well, you're right. Alright, Hirsch of Sentience. We'll save our questions about you for later. I've heard so much about you, Dr. May. Now I know where the guidance came from. So surely this means that just like... May will just get a Dr. May outfit, right? If that doesn't become true, if May doesn't get a Dr. May outfit now that they've officially met and whatnot... Come on, dude. Come on. As usual, Miyuki Sawashiro talking to herself. That's that's true, eh? She does it in Genshin and in Honkai. That's funny as fuck. Oh my god, Miyuki Sawashiro, the best voice actor for just talking to herself. You need no other voice actor when it comes to her. Just get her playing two different characters and have them talk. That's good. Whatever you know, Honkai chapter part 1, characters appear and are confused. Part 2, walls of text, and part 3, everything happens. I need to wake up early. Good night. David, good luck, man. See you, man. That's a general structure, but chapter 2 usually has a lot more information. That's cognitive, or cohesive, sorry. You planted beacons in that sea of Quanta beforehand, furthermore, to prevent monsters from following them. That is designed to be detectable only to certain mindsets, which is how the Hirsch of Sentience and I found the way. A fair assessment. We've long known that this world we reside in is merely a bubble that might burst at any second. To escape the written ending, aside from resisting Honkai, we've also integrated the zone of uncertainty in the section of the core Sea of Quanta into the world bubble. The world bubble. We opened a crack there and sent out a probe after probe to seek hope. The guidance you discovered is part of this project. But there's another kind of guidance, isn't there? Yes. Planting ideas is undeniably the ability of the Herrscher of sentience, but to be honest, I'm surprised we're working together. After all, we're not from the same world. Kuara was willing to use her power as I suggested when we first met. I'm deeply grateful for, or which I'm deeply grateful for. Oh. How many times have I told you to stop calling me by that lame name? Oh, have you... Okay, I shall call you Senti in accordance with your habit. Senti? What habit? I've never called myself that. Wait, is that them just like trying to... I don't fucking give a shit. Back to the topic then. Now that you know the general situation, regarding my proposal, what's your say? As I said, my transaction is over. For both parties, that was the last golden opportunity. But it is your transaction that makes it difficult for us to trust you. According to you, after realizing you're in a bubble universe, you agreed to the conditions of the successor to the moths in the proper world, which is now known as the World Serpent. The bubble universe would be sealed for preservation at the cost of being turned into a tool entirely. You can construe it as such. If that's the case, I'm afraid you need to explain the part that I don't understand. In what way can such an unfair deal benefit you and your people? Time. The classic resource, time. From my keen observation of Detective Eyes, I can deduct that Dr. May has the bigger booba than the current May, but Alpha May has the same size booba as Dr. May. That concludes my report. That is a most definitely, mostly true, accurate, and truthation report. I think I can concur as well from observation. But back to the story, because that is a conversation for another time, obviously. I believe every problem has a solution, but I wasn't able to find one then. Making this transaction can preserve this dying bubble universe until they realize their plan, and in turn give me more time to deduce fate. Despite the fact that you'll be thinking in paralysis and your people will be vegetated. It's better than having no chance at all. Every one of them agreed to it. Of course, I know this isn't a decision people make under normal circumstances. You may think I should have chosen death instead, but you can't deny the conclusions I drew by thinking is helpful to you. If you think my statement is one-sided, Senti is here, and she appears to know you quite well. You can ask her to read my mind. Now you're putting on an act. Weren't you emanating an air of desperation before I came? To be fair, she hasn't lied. Then it won't be better. Since you called it a transaction, then you should know which tool World Serpent intends to turn this place into better than I. A place of exile. After Project Stigma is initiated, the beings it can't destroy immediately, namely existing Herschers, will be sealed here until the project is completed. They fell into silence as expected. They had previously learned this new facet of Project Stigma from May as well. Now they could confirm that they were stranded. It's fine, I understand you aren't prepared for this. I won't force you to trust a stranger, but as I see it, trusting me is your only way out. If we join hands, you can return to the proper world, and my bubble universe will get the chance to be redeemed. Seems like a whole hunk of junk, but whatever. She stopped time to think? Not really. I don't think she stopped time. I don't believe. Which is to say, May knows about her. Although the bubble universe may be inconsistent with the proper world, that's certainly Dr. May. She's the de facto leader in the previous era, a genius that even Kevin can only follow. Then do you think she's trustworthy? From a humanity's perspective, she should be an ally. But to my knowledge, her rationality is beyond acceptable to most. I don't think we have other options. Bronya, what do you think? Let's see her proposal. During operation, we should spread out, not too far as to be separated. Agree with you. So questions, how this universe came to be, and how she's involved in Project Stigma. We can only try to get to the bottom of them. Cool. You will know soon. Then don't put it in the chat, eh? If it's a moderate spoiler. Looks like you haven't come around to it. Does it really seem strange? Speak for yourself. And ultimately, I'm an ordinary person. It's naturally for me to feel desperate in that situation. There's no other no other person or fate that can make me blindly believe there's hope simply by existing. As for why that desperation disappeared upon sensing your presence, that's the fundamental reason why many were willing to obey my orders. They didn't need a leader who was immune from desperation, but a leader who could immediately rise from desperation. What are you telling me? Are you taking me for her? You don't need to be her. I only want to point out the difference between me and a clumsy man. Kevin. Who else could he be? True and real. You know, helping us equals opposing Kevin, right? What if it doesn't matter? She doesn't like Kevin? Let's fucking go, dude. What? The way I see it, even if I help you return to the proper world, that's been factored into the project. In other words, if he's Kevin, he won't mind. You're overly confident about this. Thanks for the compliment. Wait till I beat the living daylights out of that, Kevin. Okay? Getting beaten by you might be a memorable experience for him. Whatever, fighting with a dying person on something to be so petty will only make me look like a fool. I can't stand it. What does a dying person mean? Is Dr. May a dying person? Have you decided yet? Summarize your plan first. The information we have is unorganized. It's quite simple. Whatever the consequence, your primary aim is to return to the proper world. And my aim is to find a way to keep this bubble universe alive. On that basis, there's only one valid solution. We must reconnect this bubble universe to an imaginary ending so it can become a real world. Like what Durandal did with putting a world inside her, but like that's a bit tough. I see you're aware that this isn't impossible, only difficult. Of course, before you came along, I had been missing a key ingredient. That's where my question lies, Dr. May. You want to work with us, but hearing your plan makes me wonder, are we really necessary to you? Such coincidence only adds to my suspicion. You claim as a point, when I agreed that my bubble universe has become a tool, I clearly couldn't predict your arrival. This will be difficult to prove. But this is what people call an unexpected joy. Herrscher of the Void, sentience, your powers are very practical use to me. True. To confirm what conditions we control, I took the liberty of scrutiny. I hope that's alright with you. This is the case with how I connected to the proper world. I'll be frank, the Herrscher of Finality peeled this bubble universe off a real world. The Earth above us may just be a decoration outside the domain. Herrscher of Finality. You'll be able to meet it later. It remains, of course. What? Excuse me? You'll be able to meet her later, just, it's her corpse. What? Calm down. Seeing is believing. We can talk about the Herrscher of Finality when we finally see it. In short, the Herrscher of Finality created us when it destroyed the world. Having foreseen this, the Dr. May went with it and let Project Stigma seek out suitable targets. Are you saying the Dr. May is our world found in... Wait, the Dr. May in our world found you. When Project Stigma found this bubble universe, the Dr. May... just call her Dr. May. The Dr. May? It's just the Dr. May. Had already passed away in the proper world. The only reason I could reach a consensus with her after her death is that I'm her ghost image that inherited most of her thoughts. How, you may ask? Nobody knows. I'll explain it more clearly. At the time in this bubble universe about to burst, we captured the signal that Project Sigma used to seek out tools. After a brief discussion, we decided to open up our domain to that signal, so this bubble universe would be captured and solidified by Project Sigma in the safest way. In other words, for Kevin or the others in the proper world, they found a bubble universe that would make a great tool without directly interacting with me. Disassociating, but clearing things up, for curious people like you, my arrangement is more trustworthy, is it not? Anyway, by using my familiarity with Project Stigma, I induced it to turn this bubble universe into a tool in exchange for our possible survival. In the ages that followed, I used what little thinking power I had left to deduce every possible scenario, and your Herrscher powers can help me optimize our resource consumption to the utmost degree. Please come with me. Herrscher of the Void and Sentience useful. So it's okay for May and I to stay out of this? Can we leave? When I met May, she said she needed to talk to me in private. It's the worst liars in the fucking world. An excuse to scatter us. Kiana, since Bronya and I aren't helping, we'll attend to a private matter first. We'll pick up with you soon. Ah yes, lying. Very good. Don't take too long. Sure, fair enough, eh? Comment from what I've read with you. Oh, fair enough, then. So far, this is moderately... I don't know. I don't really fucking get why May's here, but fair enough. Can we, No, we can't explore yet. Why can we hear Dr. May? What? Bruh, Dr. May, go do your business. Go do your business, May. I don't want to talk to you right now. You're a cringe lord. Oh yeah, we're playing as these two. Whoops, my bad. I thought we were playing as May or something. The Herstra of Finality. Oh, that's her there? Could we see that from the other place? I can't even remember. Oh. It really does seem like it. But because it's a bubble universe, it doesn't have the true power of finality. Despite that, if the Herstra of Finality becomes active again in the proper world, this fellow here might get some powers from it. Who? That, the statue. What if Project Sigma succeeds? Don't you all know? Project Stigma itself relies on the power of finality. If not, how can humans possess the ability to reconstruct an entire planet? In conclusion, if we don't collaborate with all the powers that we can work with, this bubble universe is doomed. Honestly, Dr. May, good riddance to you, buddy. Don't really care for you. But there's nothing impressive about this inability to control one's destiny. That is the true normality in the Sea of Quanta, filled with illusions and inescapable destiny. Enough with the heavy topics, we still have something exciting to do. Okay. Bro, we only walk like 20 meters, relax. Jesus Christ. Alright, we're here. I really do want May to get this outfit. I want her to like maybe Afro May can get this outfit. I think that would be good. I think if Afro May launches, I think this will be a very good outfit. You've only walked a few steps. As expected of a dying person, you two will get used to it. More importantly, my increasing hair loss bothers me more. Increasing hair loss? You're speaking with a full head of hair, May. Full head of hair. My increasing hair loss is annoying me. Where? Back to the topic. This is the reason why the two of you are indispensable to me. An unusual bridge. That's right, strictly speaking, it's a newly built connection between bubble universes and the extremes of imagination. For this project, the two of you have been essential from the beginning. Initially, the key was my AI Prometheus number 17. Although I don't know all the details of the project, she definitely mastered all of the methodology. You should reassess what you just said. Although I don't know all the details of the project, she definitely mastered all the methodology. Before this bubble universe completely broke down, I saved information about various projects in her memory. It's a long ingrained habit. I take charge of her creativity, she takes charge of the procurement. We increase our work efficiency this way. But if that's the case, getting too close might be the dangerous, whatever. Bending down, Dr. May picked up a pebble, adjusted her position, and threw it at the broken bridge. Even with the gravitational and oxygen modifications by the moths in this area that allowed normal people like Dr. May to walk freely, her strength still failed her, and the pebble landed barely halfway to her destination. That's kind of adorable, to be quite frankly. Let me do it. And thus Dr. May's intentions became obvious. This time, the pebble was thrown to the middle part of the bridge and vanished into thin air. It didn't fall, instead it was just gone. Curious, right? Owing to the saturation between the bubble universes and the proper world, the space there is no more. We can still see the other side of the bridge with our own eyes, but in fact, it's another world. And unfortunately, Prometheus is now trapped there. Which is to say, what you really need is the Hersha of the Void's power. But judging from the circumstances, to wield this power, you need help from Senti. Kiana looked to Hersha of Sentience with expectant eyes. Why are you looking at me? Don't worry, as a shadow, I naturally remember the details of the Project Stigma. But knowing the executor of the plan in the proper world, I don't find it hard to predict what he might do. After all, it's Kevin we're talking about. He always carries it all on his own shoulders. True and real. Kiana couldn't help but feel sorry for Dr. May, but she always knew she wasn't even qualified to empathize with either of the two. But if that's the case, why are you also able to deduct what World Servant has done before, such as the current situation on the Earth? That's hard, given the numerous factors to play in the proper world. The best guess I can make is that Project Stigma can still be reversed so far. But back to yourselves, the flaws in the seals on Anu are rather obvious, almost looks like intended. The flaws? As a Hersha, Senti is able to keep more of her powers than you, and without the extra part, you couldn't have come to me. So if I have to make a guess, there's one plausible explanation, spiritual restraint. Our powers are locked psychologically? To mentally restrain the Hersha of Sentience? That's fresh. I don't buy it. It does sound ridiculous, but there were more presidents in your history. Not presidents, but not presidents, not like American presidents. Precedents, I guess. Compared with what Sue did to the other Hersha of Sentience, at least Kevin didn't deprive you of all your powers, if he so wishes. He could have confined you to the point even moving around would be difficult. You're just telling us things could have been worse? If Sue or Aponia were still around, our problem could have been solved with ease, but right now, without a powerful psychic master, purposefully or not, she threw another glance at the Hersha of Sentience. It's just too hard. Where indeed did we find our Feng Huang down? Or can we find our Feng Huang down? True, where can we find the Feng Huang down? Where is it? The reverse psychology trick was too obvious. Even she probably wouldn't. She briefly relieved. However, the next instant, Hersha of Sentience does something. The mind space she once set foot in unfolded again without any sign. Kiana could still smell anger in the air. Hersha of Sentience didn't finish. I'll show you how to break shackles. Does she attack us? Okay, we're playing as Dr. May and we're fighting Hersha of Sentience. Is that true? For fuck's sake. What is this? This feels like an unnecessary thing. Is this a new iteration of the fight? I think so. At least it doesn't feel like the previous one. Why are they fighting again? Dr. May agitated Hersha of Sentience and made her mad. And she's just fighting me for some reason. Any change now? If not, I'll keep at it. Undoubtedly, the mental trick that wouldn't work on anyone else worked on her like magic. Reverse psychology or some shit. Dr. May just aggravated her and then made her do what she didn't want to do, but by reverse psychology. It wouldn't be a surprise to see this Hersha do anything. That said, she knew exactly what Dr. May was up to, just like Kiana. She was taking the chance to let out steam. But still, it's surprising to see her so serious. Kiana examined her own status. This sudden and pointless battle took a toll on both sides mentally. But however, the examination revealed something unusual. Could it be? Another punch and hit me harder. Are you nuts?
弱くなるとこの枷もメイ博士はわざとそうやったのかな。
キアナ、喧嘩中に何してるの？
That's a new mechanic, this like ghost thing, isn't it? I've never seen this before. Sorry, Santa, you're dead now. I don't know why we went to this arena though. I admit you're still the stronger one now. I won the fight! Oh, come on. I surrender. Let's get out of here. Got other business to take care of. You know best. This is business. I'm not even trying to beat you. Even with the old time helping, you have no chance against me. Stay there and don't move. Let me see if I can break the shackles. That won't be necessary anymore. Let's get out of here first. I thought Dr. May was being weird, but it turns out we didn't quite catch her real intention. Are you trying to boss me around? I'm not taking orders from you. No, right now, I think I can get out on my own. She activates her void mode. The illusion space that devoured the two scattered Kiana wore a smug face, while the host of sentence looked like she just ate something foul. Kiana now has the Hirsch of Void's power enabled, and we can now make the bridges real. Or something. Dr. May already left. She's not important now. Tell me, what did that mean? Dr. May never intended to provoke you to use your remaining powers to help me break the chains. She just wanted you to beat me up. Simple as that. There's something wrong with you. No. There's something wrong with the both of you. I also find it hard to believe, but let's explain using facts. Eminence. Well, fair enough. We use the... Wait, we use the... What do you mean, eminence? Brother. Yeah, fair enough. Sorry, it's just... all I can picture now is, like, Li Sushang using the sword to make as the bridge. That's all I can imagine. Is Li Sushang just putting the sword down as the bridge. Oh, fucking hell. I don't know what to say. When we were fighting in there, as my spiritual force got weakened by you, so did the restraints put on my powers. And for reasons unknown, Edge of Taishuan seems to be immune to the restraints. And that's why I wanted you to keep attacking me. And help me find out how to bypass some of the restraints with Edge of Taishuan. If it was really that easy, I'd have done it to you, or for you, before you even asked. I can't explain exactly how it happened. For me, it was perhaps just dumb luck. But still, it couldn't be done without you, Senti. No one else has the ability to weaken someone in the spiritual space. Don't call me that, it's just weird. She has a grumble about something to feel better. She's got lucky. I'm afraid only Dr. May knows if it was pure luck. Let's get back to May. I believe Dr. May is also there. So... oh, we got the achievement, fix the broken bridge. So can we now, like, do something here, or... I think it's because we're in questing mode, we can't do anything. Surely we can now... okay, yeah, we can now go back and forth between that place. Cool. The ghost thing is Senti Ultimate Evasion. I know what it is, but I just don't think it's been there in the other fights, right? I don't think in the original, like, Kiana versus Senti fight, it's there. At least I don't remember it being there. Standing at the vantage point, May glanced over the view that never changed. Curiously, despite her poor health, this leader felt omnipresent in a natural way. She seemed too weak. She seemed so weak that even a breeze could knock her down, but it would also feel perfectly natural to see her standing in the freezing Arctic with only a thin layer on. Looks like congratulations are in order. Ready to reunite with your partners. Without a word, the irritable Hersha lady rushed forward, reaching out her hands for May's collar. What the hell just happened? You knew all along, right? What should I say? It never hurts to try. I don't have a deep understanding of mind control, but I have studied discipline before. But in a broad sense, the Swara on you does come from my research. Sorry, it's called Edge of Taishuan now. The name matters not. In essence, the Edge of Taishuan is a spiritual restraint, just like discipline. Mechanic-wise, it can't cancel out another spiritual restraint, but can readily keep it in check. This is a very weird way to word things. Of course, provoking you was an experiment since the beginning is always the hardest. I might as well have you exhaust your spirit along with the restraint in battle. Despite the loss in stamina, I'd say the result is welcomed, no? Then, no sooner did her pride stop her from saying more than she parted her lips. You wanted to ask why you couldn't remove the restraints on yourself in the same way. Could it be that Kiana didn't punch you hard enough? Just kidding, I don't have enough evidence to infer your situation. But if I had to guess, I'd say it's something to do with the Hersha core not being on you. But Dr. May, why not tell us earlier? Hersha of Sentience made a fuss for nothing. Did make a fuss. Maybe I was just playing it safe. If the experiment didn't go as planned, it wouldn't be my fault, right? Jokes, enough jokes. Are you going to reunite with your partners? But it'd be rash to take the only path ahead now. Because some people are having an unusual exchange behind our backs as we speak. A moment ago, I thought this was an excuse to split up. I didn't know you actually wanted to talk to me alone. Now that you can't use your Hersha powers, can you still hear 300,000 voices echoing in your head? No, but after the core stopped responding, I can feel them even more clearly. That's when I really understood that the existence of inheritance was validated through disappearance. The existence of inheritance was validated through disappearance. Yeah, sure, why not? Their voices vanished, true, but their wills became more vivid. When making a choice, I sometimes can't really tell whether it comes from myself or them. Like, we were unknowingly influenced by the Hersha of Sentience today. But regarding this topic, I don't think we need to avoid Hersha of Sentience too much. Indeed, how to put it, on this occasion, rather than Bronya and May, we're first and foremost two successors. Though not without detours, two eras had bestowed one of their greatest legacies upon the two girls. You figured this out before I could formally introduce the Flame Chasers and the Elysian Realm to you. What, Bronya figured out everything before having any tangible amount of information? That's crazy that Bronya suddenly just figured things out without having any tangible amount of information. That's crazy. Otto ascended God with binding power and he called false god Otto, but why Kevin still Kevin? Are they still too lazy to give him a new name for a boss or something? Do you fight him at the end of this, I'm assuming? I'm not sure. Bronya got a big brain? There's only so far a big brain can take you, to be quite frank. Specifically if you're not Dr. May and from the previous era. Kiana isn't dumb, it's just not her to rush into telling you her... It's just not her to rush you... It's just not her to rush you into telling her your story. Fuck, that was painful to read. You two are as thick as thieves. So from my perspective, I know little about your life with the World Serpent. Readers gather covert intelligence, but it's not the same as experiencing it. But after we reunited, the commonalities we share tell me that. Bronya paused for 2 seconds, she was trying to articulate her opinion properly. But in the end, she decided to be absolutely frank. May, after receiving some kind of inheritance, you seem to be able to understand the sacrifices of others. She can understand the sacrifices. Well, there's been a lot of sacrificing in her life recently. To be able to be, what a statement. To be able to understand. Huh? Bronya, I might not believe in myself as much as you do on this matter. But, from them, the Flame Chasers, I learned that before the last moment comes, nobody really knows what kind of person they are. But then again, Bronya, you didn't sound like you were blaming the past. Of course, even in the ruins of Chiba Academy, you've done anything wrong. Maybe it's meant to be a never? Or it's either meant to be you've never done anything wrong, or you've done everything wrong. Now, it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50. It's either May's done nothing wrong, or she's done everything wrong. And I can't quite tell what they're trying to tell here. But let's go with she's done everything wrong. And I know inheritance is a complex thing. Whether it's May, Bronya, Kiana, Rita, Drandle, Fu, or the principal, we're all walking on different paths to lead to the same end. For example, regarding the view on sacrifice, you and Kianya went down opposite paths. But because your paths are opposites, you and Kiana, who are inherently different, can be of a heart and complement each other. You've noticed that, haven't you? Kiana's grown a lot in the past 6 months. As your mutual friend, I'm genuinely happy to see you stand together. In my opinion, now May and Kiana are just one step away from truly reconciling. Now... yeah, there's one step away. What is that final step? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. I see, this is a strange sounding topic. Thanks, Bronya. You're welcome. That said, though, Bronya suddenly summoned Project Bunny and assumed a fighting stance. Don't you want to trade blows with me, who's also grown? Just so you know, I won't go easy on you. And they enter into combat. I don't get to fight? I don't even get to fight, dude? May, Bronya, you guys, they're females, dude. Just a heart-to-heart talk, right, Bronya? I was feeling happy, so I decided to spar with May. Kiana, how are things going along on your side? Well, Dr. May's suggestion is effective. I can use a portion of the Hersha of the Void powers now. Well, let's be clear now. It was with my help. Yeah, with the Hersha of Sentience help, we repaired the path to the opposite world. Now that's a good meme format right there. That's a good meme format right there. Let's take a screenshot of that. That's a good one. It feels a little lackluster. You should say it this way. With the help of the great Hersha of Sentience. Alright, enough with the pedantry. We understand the situation now. Then, can we get going now? Yep. While you were having your heart-to-heart talk, Dr. May already sent a signal to Prometheus to stand by for our meeting. But the region ahead is wider than I thought. It will be more efficient for us to split up and search. The 4 of us... Don't count me in such trivial matters. Can you please help to connect our minds together? It's an unknown region after all. And this is something that only you can do. Why are you still ordering around, use your comms? But we're on the moon. Even the moon is no excuse to give me overtime. Alright, Kiana. 3 should be enough. No time to waste. Let's get moving. Alright. They worry about the real world, and that meanwhile them playing around. I know, right, dude? There's real stakes that matter right now, and then they're just having a silly goose time? How dare they? It's either fun or no fun. Can't have both. Alright, here we go. Well, and now we're... And here we are? Is that it? Senti, just fuck you. Fucking Senti. She's gonna be stalking us this whole time. She's just gonna be stalking us this whole time. Alright, Prometheus, where you at? Oh, we're gonna run into someone, right? Prometheus. Oh, maybe Prometheus, and then I don't know. We'll find that in a second. Who we run into? Maybe we'll run into Sora-chan again. It's just gonna be the first person we always meet is gonna be like Sora. Everyone's just gonna be introduced to Sora for the first time. Oh, we're dead. What is this? Losing power? Restriction field? Oh no, they're linked. Who saves us? How troublesome. Ah, Prometheus. The only reason these factory manufacturers stop you all from getting closer is ironically to protect your safety. Oh, she actually is like very mechanical. I thought she was like moderate, like semi-human, but she's actually mechanical. It's the first time the suppression device has been switched off by someone since it has been installed. A new Hersha, a successor of Origin, perhaps you'll have to take responsibility for a momentous incident ahead. Her body. Prometheus. It's more accurate to call me number 17. You can leave first, I need to restart the suppression device. Even if it just remains, it's just an illusion like me. The Honkai energy it exudes cannot be left unattended. I promise if you continue to use those hands to do anything dangerous, you'll lose them soon. Ooh, Mei-senpai. Let's just take a swig of coffee. Why are we threatening a small girl and two of them look identical? Come on. How do I put it? The Hersha of Sentience linked our minds together in the end. Kiana, you're the one who hasn't realized. Nice. Alright. But she doesn't intend to hurt me. In fact, she's the person that we're looking for. Hearing the word person, Prometheus tilted her head, indicating her perplexion. That's kind of adorable. She doesn't consider herself a person. Because she's a robot. But she has the general perception of a person. Put the weapon down, Mei. Although it's obvious, but I should still remind you, it's very convenient for me to replace my arms. If I immediately activate the suppression device, we might have to add 3 funerals to Dr. Mei's schedule. That's a big threat right there. Gee, that's a badass threat. I could replace my arm, but I could press this button, and we have to have 3 funerals right now. Dr. Mei was the one who told us to come here, actually. Yes, I received the signal. But since there's a possibility of violent confrontation, I need to ensure that I have the upper hand in the fight to the death, or at least mutual death. But of course, I'm no demon. Since there is a clear winner, would you all still choose to resist me? Or shall we have an amiable discussion elsewhere? That's quite interesting. She's just like, yeah, I could kill yous, but I'm not gonna. The conclusion was obvious. I see. Dr. Mei has told you her supposition, which is to reconnect the bubble universe to an imaginary ending in her words. She's certain this can be done, but she's not familiar with the technical details, because most of the knowledge is stored in me. That's right. It's that excuse again. Excuse? Whenever she doesn't feel like explaining something, she'd use that kind of excuse to get me to do it. Now that I count it, this is the 4021st time. Which is to say, in terms of results, this is an actual collaborative method. If we disregard how we really think, then yes. But I digress. To put it simply, yeah, I'll explain it like that. We discovered something like while pioneering the Sea of Quanta, its potential connection with the imaginary space made renormalization a viable choice. Something? It's a subspecies of husk. Oh no! Does that mean we're gonna get some sort of different nihilus? Husk nihilus or something? It's gonna be like it's gonna be a different fucking nihilus, isn't it? I like Mei, but sometimes when she acting smart to make her look dumb for some reason. Yeah. Yeah. It's that kind of character. Husk Nihilis, I once defeated it. Marvelous. Mysticism is similar to nihilism, only stronger, but still much easier to handle than existentialism. I assume you're not talking about philosophical schools, but names like Husk Mysticism. Is that the next enemy, Husk Mysticism? You seem to understand my expression better. Also, Bronya's voice actor, another one that's just repeatedly talking to herself throughout this whole game. Bronya is talking to herself in Honkai Impact repeatedly. I don't know who the voice actor for Bronya is, but complete and utter constant talking to herself in the voice acting booth. Why did a husk appear in the Sea of Quanta? That doesn't make sense. Well, about that, I don't understand either. The mechanical girl blinked subconsciously. If she was a human, this would surely be a sign of lying. In any case, it's already on the brink of death. You mean like the broken bridge? Yes, if we don't intervene, it's bound to disappear, but now that you've come, we have no reason to resign ourselves to fate. As she spoke, her eyes swept over the three. I'm still deducing the solution that will help you override it, though. Override it? That doesn't mean actually writing it, right? I have more explaining to do. I hate this. It's okay, I mean, I'll explain it concisely. As a corpse, the husk still retains a weak connection with an N. That means it can be hacked. So if we break it, if we destroy it, we can keep that connection. It can be used by us. Yes, the volume of this bubble universe is so micro that it can reconnect to the end through the husk's bandwidth alone. You'll be able to return to the proper world by then. That sounds simple. In other words, we just need to beat that husk up. I don't think that's as easy as you make it sound. Of course, judging by your current authority level, even if you get lucky and defeat mysticism, you can't bring that connection under control. Or maybe we should try. Don't rush it. As long as our preparation is sufficient, there will be no problem that we can't resolve. Moderate pessimism is foresight. Just the story of quotes at this point. Just quoting everything. Moderate pessimism is foresight. I'm gonna write that one down. I'm not, but I'm gonna remember it. That's the first common knowledge input by Dr. May, and it's very effective. Based on that common knowledge, it'd be safer for me to take command of your mission. Any objections? What do you think? We came here to resolve the problem, so we ought to respect her decision. Very well, the one with the power of the void, I'll teach you how to activate the husk and bring it back momentarily later. Like repairing that bridge, you need to make it reappear wholly in the space we are in. But you need to take it to the next level. You need to learn how to use renormalization techniques and preserve that connection to achieve our goal. I hope Prometheus becomes a playable unit, although I probably wouldn't enjoy Prometheus as a playable character because it takes on the older Bronya unit kind of like playstyle, I think. I hope Prometheus does become a playable character. Just for the sake of looks cool. I take advantage. It would take forever to explain. We should just get to it. Are you sure? I'm sure. The mechanical girl suddenly pulled out 2 slips of paper, then began putting down diagrams and numbers on them at a speed almost too fast for the human eye. Kiana will wait orders in the central lobby and familiarize herself with her objective. May and Bronya will do the legwork and help me verify that the necessary beacons are functioning properly. Then I'll go to you with Dr. May. If a problem occurs, use that Hersher of Sentience channel to reach me. Dr. May will add me to your contacts. Dismissed. Who knows, maybe she suddenly feels tired. Can robots feel tired? Project Bunny can, but let's see our notes first. It's written in detail. Maybe it's communicating orally that she deselects. I heard Dr. Tesla was like her for a while. Dr. Tesla, I can imagine. But since Prometheus has gone off on its own, it's useless for us to analyze her character here. Let's do it where she's assigned. It's not like we have a choice. Alright. Cool. We should be able to hit level 9. I think it would be really cool to get Prometheus as a playable character, although I'm not sure how probable that is. I'm just not sure how it's gonna go. I think it'll be cool. Playable normal Prometheus, press 1 button to kill Hersher, awaken Prometheus, use Hersher to fight Honkai. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Let's go with that. I think it would be cool, although I probably would not, like I said, I would not like playing her, because I think it's the old Bronya style unit I don't like that much. Oh, this is gonna be a new boss they add to the fucking game. Husk mysticism. Oh, God. Okay. I think this is the real Husk. Although her discernment had improved much, she still failed to realize that what she had confirmed was strangely suspicious. And due to how cautious Prometheus was about work, she would have most likely let the truth, however... Let the truth? Learned the truth? Let the truth? I don't know. However insignificant it may be, behind it go. Fortunately, when trying to repair the bridge, she used her power well enough. Well enough to give certain patient observers a chance to transmit their voices along the fleeting connection and through the world's boundary to hear.
Kiana-san. Kiana-san.
Is that Drondle?
Kiana-san.
I think that is Drondle, right? So when Kiana rebuilt the bridge, like Durandal projected her voice.
Okay.
Looks like they found you, number 17. Are things going smoothly that you don't need to follow up? Not exactly, but all things considered, I should come back. There are things that I can't explain with knowledge alone. Or in human terms, I'm feeling upset. Oh. Is there anything wrong with the Finality Installments wreckage? Although the suppressor of Honkai energy leakage was shut down for some time, nothing went wrong in that respect. What I don't understand is, why did you lie to those children? I know that's a... Again, it's not a Honkai chapter if there's not some typos. I know that's not a white lie. It's a T and L aren't even close on the keyboard. T and L aren't even close. I know that it's a white lie, but if we let them unknowingly become your leverage over betraying the world, that'd be an incident. But if we let them unknowingly become your leverage over betraying the world... Wait, May's betraying the world? May... What? That'd be an incident. That'd be indecent, rather. Don't accuse me. You're aware that ever since the bubble universe was enabled, its breaking was a matter of time. Rather than calling it a betrayal, calling it an adaptation would be more accurate. They should read it over again before release. It would be nice. It'd be nice for them to reread it after release, or before release, rather. Rather than calling it a betrayal, calling it an adaptation would be more accurate. I understand. It's like the human life is finite. But Dr. May, a fated demise in 40 days, and a sought death today. A fated demise in 40 days, and a sought death today are not quite the same. Why couldn't you include that in the same line? I was confused. Amid the barren lands, a man sat quietly. A man. A man that would not be overlooked in any situation. Or a savior. The power that could wipe away the world lay by his feet meekly. Yet without that power, should he be described as empty? Oh. You knew I'd be here, Hua. Sue told me that unintentionally. That was 2,000 years ago. What? While we were fulfilling our duties as pioneers, you were absent from a meeting one day. Kevin... You were absent from a meeting one day, and that led me to believe that you would betray the world, and you'd plunge us into constant pain and suffering. Yes, you being absent on one day. Sue told me on this day, every year, no matter what urgent business you had at hand, no matter how big of a strain using the second divine key would put on you, you would come to this place on the moon, alone. You would spend a whole day here gazing at the Herstro Finality's remains. That's a promise I must keep. But you didn't have to come. You saw it. The residence that World Serpent especially prepared for you during Project Stigma. That Mount Taishuan is indeed more beautiful than its real-life counterpart. But you know, I'm not enraptured by a reclusive life. It's but a habit from the past. I don't want to fight you if possible. Do you think I'm going to stop you? Like Sue did? Oh. His ice breathing paused. Bro, he's from Demon Slayer? He's got ice breathing? But no other response ensued. Had they not fought together, he may think she was making a psychological move. But the two standing there were the last humans to have lived through two eras. They had the longest life and the oldest memory. Yet, except the vast barrenness, they managed to save nothing as he saw it. The Elysian realm is no more, Hua. Looks like forgotten things that are important to our past. He shook his head lightly, as if uncertain of the words he was to say. It matters not. It's no longer important to you. His tone remained the same, without a trace of emotion. You see, this is the most common sight in the universe. As barren as a grave, right? He answered with silence. Speaking of which, this is such an unkind thought. But Kevin, even if the people of this era are the same species as us, they are not your kind. She thought of creatures that died out as time flowed on, such as a strange and precious fish. The world flourished, but there would never be another creature that could understand its language. The loneliness persisted like a glacier that would not melt for eternity. No, Hua. It's easy to see them as my kind. The hard part is giving them free rein. Her partner in combat was of course right. Viewing everything as an object like Mei during her work had little to do with the sense of belonging. I get it. That's why I came here. For them? No. For you. At this point, as I see it, you need someone like you that understands you. Even if nothing is said, even if it's back and forth. Back and forth? Bro, where's the H? Even if it's back and forth. Even if. You don't need to say more. Do you still hate yourself like you did at first, Kevin? I don't know. Maybe 5,000 years was enough to have changed Fua. But Kevin is still the same old Kevin. The last of his partners had finally been integrated into the new era. All that existed of that once glorious civilization was now an epigraph called Kevin. Kevin and Fu both looked up at the dark sky. The names that have now faded, even if she remembers, even if he forgets, there's no going back to it all. And all of it can never come back to them. Many years from now, when those girls who have passed on, the songs I sung about them will remain. But you can take away all the songs, I only need one living girl to come toward me. A singer they once had known so far in the past had perfectly captured how they now felt. Since it's inevitable that seeing me reminds you of everyone you've lost, so why don't you just tell me about your last dream instead? Now you've done it, even if you stop the ending, that's just another ending, but for you, at least through you, humanity is about to overcome Honkai. No. This. Never mind. His sigh made her all the more surprised. It was as if, at that moment, he wasn't Kevin, but someone else. A friend and decent harmonica player. I'm sorry, you don't have someone better to talk to at a time like this. It's not your fault. There's no need to apologize. And after this, what sort of plan do you have? The future will be as the past was. You'll keep playing the hero? He fell silent. The sort of silence that could have lasted an eternity were he speaking to someone else. But right now, she's the only one that can talk to him as his peer. That title, I never lived up to it, and no longer can. So are you the bad guy then? Silence followed, but it wasn't hesitation. But more so inevitability. I understand. So that's why you are the way you are. Fragile, despondent. And yet, cringe. Bruh, true and real. May and Bronya VA must be paid double this arc? True. Oh my god. Oh my god, Kevin. Fu Hua took 2 steps forward, moving with a proud stance, lowered her head, and saw his expression for the first time. You're looking for your final resting place, aren't you, Kevin? He's looking for a place to die? There's a hole in my backyard, Kevin. Just jump in. I'll put some dirt there. Wrap it up. That's the end of Act 2. Oh. That's the end of Act 2. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's think about that for a second. I think the biggest thing that we found out there, I think it's pretty much true, is that Kevin is looking. Kevin's actual goal is to just find, to die. That's his goal right now, is to die a death worthy of something. Like his comrades once did, I'm assuming. I think that's the general gist that he's getting at. Is that, he wants to die a death the same value that his comrades had when they were fighting the Herstra of the End. I think that's a safe assumption. That's a pretty big thing right now, to find out that Kevin just desires death. That's pretty heavy. I don't know where I'm going, don't ask me. But that's an overly, like, again, Act 2 didn't bring us too much again. Nothing, like, crazy. Like, May's kind of, like, it hints there that Dr. May is betraying something. She's betraying the world. Now, I have a slight inkling as to that means that she's betraying the world in a sense that she's reviving finality, or she's reviving... Seely, could you shut up? Jesus Christ, Seely, shut the fuck up! She's trying to revive the Herstra of finality? Seely, shut the fuck up! You're irrelevant! Why does she talk? Oh my god, shut up, woman. Please. I'm trying to... Oh my god. How do I turn Seely off? Please shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, please. You're the worst character in this game, on god. She's trying to revive the Herstra of finality to sustain her life or something, or she wants to live. Maybe Kevin wants to die and May wants to live. Even though May's technically dead, I think she wants to try to find a way... Oh, there's Huss Nicholas. She wants to find a way to revive herself, but then Kevin's looking for a way to die. Oh my god, that would be kind of crazy. And then in the end, Kevin kills himself, and then May revives herself, and they both see that, and then it's a Romeo-Juliet situation. Oh my god, that'd be crazy. Why does she have to talk so much? Seely, just shut the fuck up. Holy crap. I hate these open worlds because of this one thing of the NPCs talking. Like, shut up. Please.